Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon in our super hardcore Let's Play. Now, I said to you that I was going to go and look for something, some kind of vehicle that was a bit cheaper than the Mahindra that we were using in order to try and speed things along a little bit, because at the moment we shouldn't be on euros, we should be on dollars. I've been recording the time lapse. We should be on dollars and miles for this one. In order to be able to speed things along a little tiny bit, I wanted to get some sort of mod that was a bit cheaper than the Mahindra, because the Mahindra is $17,200. And I can't afford that at the moment, and it took us the entire episode last time to get to $5,200, and we reckon it was going to be around 40 trips carrying pieces of timber into the sawmill. And it's a long trip. We got a long way to go getting in there and out again. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything. I spent literally hours. I spent like 4 hours searching for mods. Finding cheap tractors. I found a couple of tractors I thought would be really good, but I can't get the mods to show up in the game at all, no matter what I try. Tried renaming them, tried all sorts. I absolutely cannot get them to show up in-game at all, and it is really frustrating, really annoying, and so, yeah, I've had about enough of that. But I just can't get anything. I cannot get it to work. I cannot get the right mod in order to be able to just get things moving a little bit. And so I'm wondering what to do. I don't want to leave it until next week, so I can't ask the viewers. This is going to have to be on me, because I get all of this recorded before we get through. I get all of this recorded before you watch the first episode. So this is kind of on me. I've got to make the decision here. What do I do in order to be able to get things moving? We can't go any slower than ×5, which means that we are against the clock on this. The other thing I was going to say is that maybe we shouldn't be working at night. You know, we have to go home and sleep for the night. So we can work until, say, I don't know, 8 p.m. And then we have to go home and sleep, which means that we're up against it. I'm never going to get $17,000 in that space of time. It's 177 for that one. There is one thing that I have thought of that we might be able to do that might make us enough money. There's actually two options that we've got. I've got two options. A one-time only lease that we could do, and we lease the Mahindra, and then we do a couple of loads of wood with it, and then we return the Mahindra, and after that, no more leasing. That would kind of make up for it, because, you know, I've been searching and searching for a mod that would be suitable, and I haven't found anything. And I thought that would probably be the best thing to do, would be a mod. Because, you know, that fits with the rest of the game. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to get these things. But, of course, I have another option here. And that is just to do it like this. Rather than running with each individual one, pick up several, and I'll just have to do it like this, and pick up each individual item and throw it along the ground like this, and we'll make a heap of timber that we keep moving. So I'm not going to get any more short pieces, not for the moment. And I have a way that we'll be able to shovel these along just a little bit faster, actually. Because I can do that, and then I can do that. So we do have option 2. We can sweep logs up towards the sawmill. So that is the option that I've come up with, is sweeping logs towards the sawmill. This bigger one here, we're going to leave that until we do have a vehicle that we can use. But I did want to, we can take out a couple of these, and we're going to get like a collection of logs, and we're going to sweep these towards that sawmill. And I'm hoping that will get us most of the money we need in order to get the Mahindra. And that way we're not going to have to break my first rule that I said that I was going to have, which was no leasing, straight away at the beginning of the series. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But I've also got no idea how heavy the loan repayments are going to be. We could end up having to pay a vast sum of money for our leasing, for our loan, and so we could end up being in a spot of financial difficulty anyway. Let's just bring that down there, and we'll run along this tree as well. Bring that one all the way along there. So this one here, I'm going to cut these two in half, and then I'm going to start chucking these along as well. We'll bring that one up to there. I want this one here, I kind of want to do that one so that we've got the two that are above $400 a piece. Should be, I reckon, about there. So we've got these longer pieces. There's a longer piece. These here, I'm going to carry them a little bit because these won't throw all that far. You can't throw them very much. They're just too heavy to actually throw. So we want to bring them along like that. And yeah, that's about as far as I'm going to be able to do those. So those there, it might actually be better to run them. See, I don't think it is. I still don't think it's going to be better to run them in the long run. I think we'd be better off just doing it like this, a little bit to a time, and then we can kind of sweep those logs along as we go through, and maybe that will work. If we could get the Mahindra by the end of today's episode, I feel we'd be doing really well. And we're going to be running out of time after today's episode anyway, because we're getting much, much closer to that point where we're going to be... yeah, see there? It's a lot heavier and you can't throw them. So you've got to kind of cut them in half if you want to be able to move any more. But I could take that one there, and we're going to try and sweep all of this lot. This is what we're going to try and do now, is I'm going to try and sweep this lot along. I'm not going to get a great deal for this, but we might get some. You know what? I am going to go for this log over here. I reckon that we're going to need it anyway. Right, that Mahindra's 12 is 17,000. The absolute cheapest we can get. The Fiat there is 59, and there is nothing that is cheaper than that. We've got a 45. Oh, actually, 59, yeah. 45,000 for the Hurleyman there. Right, I did find a small old tractor that would have been 7,500. It was an old beat-up looking tractor, an old Belarus tractor. I thought that would be absolutely perfect. That's just what I want. But it's I could not get it to show up in the game. We've got 30,000 there and 17,200 there. I couldn't find any sort of old ATV type things. A pony and cart mod, that would have been absolutely perfect. Can't find that one anywhere. I don't think it's been converted over yet, to be honest. I even looked for like a wheelbarrow or something like that. Maybe something I could push along by hand. But nope, there's nothing there either. Go into the miscellaneous section. That one's 12,000. You need a tractor to put that on anyway. So... no, we are up against it. We are up against it for options. Right, let's cut this one up into lengths that we can move. So I'm going to go sort of like that, and I'll see if I can pick... I can pick that one up. Right, ideal. So we'll drop that down there, and then this one here, I reckon we'll probably want to cut this one into about 3 pieces. And we'll be able to move that along as well, because I think that bit there is going to be too big, yes. But if I cut it there, I think that'll be about right. We'll have 3 more pieces that we can move. As long as we can, as long as we can pick them up by hand, we should be able to sweep them with our longer piece of wood right there. That's the plan. If we can sweep, we'll be doing okay. And we can sweep this entire tree. Chuck you up there. See, it doesn't sort of throw very well, but I can do that. We do have to go a bit steady, but I do like the fact that we've got a strong grip in FS19. So yes, arguably I'm abusing a game mechanic ever so slightly with this, but I do feel that this is justified because we are completely unable to get any working mods that we would otherwise be using. You know, I do feel that this is kind of justified because... otherwise, we'd be going for the sort of mods that I've been looking for. A cheap tractor, a very, very cheap tractor, or like an old beat-up Mahindra. Something like that. Some sort of old, small 4x4 that we could put logs into the back of. But we don't have that available. There's none of those available at the moment, and there's not sort of, it's not rule breaking in our series, it's just that unfortunately, because the game is still so new, there are no actual mods out there that are suitable. So I don't feel this is cheating. I do think that we are still within... Well, this isn't cheating anyway, because we're using full game mechanics to do this. The only other thing that I would consider doing is, like I said, a one-off lease of, say, a Mahindra or something. Well, it would definitely be the Mahindra. It would be the cheapest, smallest vehicle that we could get. And it would be a one-off lease of one of them just once for, say, even just like a couple of hours in-game or something. And that would be it. That would be the only bit that we would do. And then there would be no more of it. And that would be our way round not being able to have cheap machinery at the moment. But right now, this method does actually seem to be well, we're working here at the moment. How much we're going to get for all this is a completely different matter. We could spend ages shoving this lot all the way, because we got a long way to go. Let's be honest, we have got a long way to go. And we could spend a very long time working our way through this and end up still not actually getting anywhere. So I'm just going to run these long ones over here, like that. And then I'll get the other long one and I'll run that one up the track. And then we can start shoving. We've got lots and lots of shoving to do. Bring you over this way, like that, and drop you down there. Right. Now we go back and we get our wide piece of timber and we continue with our sweeping. There. Let's have you. Put you down like that. And sweep up through there. And then... I was just wondering if I should cut some of these pieces of wood in half. But no, I definitely don't want to do that. I want to keep these at length. Because it's the length that does end up getting us the money. So, I mean, these might not be worth... I reckon that we could get all of this lot up there and still not get more than a couple thousand. Which, 2,000, it would have been quicker just to chop down more trees and run up and down with them rather than doing all of this. Because this is going to take absolutely ages. If we get 5,000 or 6,000 for this, that would be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? We are not going to get 5,000 or 6,000 for this. So it's literally just going to be a case of pushing it along like this. In a heartbreaking, soul-destroying, hard work sort of thing. I told you it was a super hardcore series. This is proper super hardcore series. Bring you along. Right. Go on. There's one gone up there. This is the problem, is that they're not moving along very quickly. Right, I can keep doing this. We're going to be here forever doing this, aren't we? We really are. Let's drop you down there a minute. I'm going to take this one here, this bigger piece of timber here, and I'm going to run this one all the way up to the actual mill. We've got them a little... I don't think we're going to gain any speed at all by doing it like that. I think we're actually going to be quicker by doing this and running with them than we are by moving them all individually a little bit to a time. Bring you right up here. We'll drop you in there, and we'll sell you, and you get $188. This is going to take forever, isn't it? What I'll do is... I'm going to set us a target of $10,000. When we reach $10,000, then, after we've reached that $10,000 target, we will do a one-off lease of a Mahindra machine, and we will have it for, say, 3 loads, as much timber as we can stack onto the Mahindra with 3 loads. We'll do 1 load and we'll see. We'll see whether or not we have 1 more or 2 more. And then we'll have to return it. And then we'll have to buy. As soon as maybe we just keep it until we got the money to buy. So there's 300 there. But we'll give ourselves a target of $10,000. We've got to get 10,000. I don't want to make this easy. But I have said right from the start, no leasing. And... The only reason I want to change this around a little bit is because we've got no other options, which means we've got to get to $17,000. And it's this long walk. For every single piece of timber that we get, we've got this long walk. And this is the bit that I think is going to end up creating rather dull viewing. Although that being said, that's kind of the whole point of this series, is we're supposed to do absolutely everything hardcore and not 280. 280! I thought it would have been worth more than that. So we're up to 6,200. If we're going to go for the full 17,200, we are not even halfway yet. Not even close to halfway. I'll get some of the bigger pieces. What else have we got down here? We get some of these bigger pieces. We could, if I take that one there, then the others, maybe we will push the others along. We could probably do that. We tried shoving one of those big pieces of timber off to the side there. Tried shoving one of them along, and we ended up not getting very much for it. Didn't really work all that well. We got a little bit for it, but not much at all, really. So chuck that one down, and then go like that. 228. So again, still not very much at all. The piece, we're just not getting the pieces long. We have to go back to doing what we were doing before, where we were getting over $400 per piece of wood that we were bringing up. This looks like it's sort of the only feasible way of doing this, is to keep going with that. I mean, we've got a whole load of little pieces now. We'll see how we get on with shoving some of these along for a minute. Do that, and right, that's moving a little better. I've taken some of the heavier pieces out, and that is kind of moving along a little better. You over this way, and up like that. There we go. Right, keep going like this. We'll just have to keep going like this, moving these along. I'm going to have a look up in the sawmill. Oh, I know what I can do. Maybe I could just do this and shunt a whole load of them at once. Just a bit further and do more at once. Yeah, well, we know that you are kind of broken. You're caught on something. You're definitely broken. So I don't know what's wrong with that one, but he's not playing ball. And then we go to this next lot, and I shove these up. Now, this seems to be actually working a little bit. It is spreading them out a bit, but if I do it at kind of an angle, they all go off to one side as though we were using a snowplow blade. So if we could do it like that, sort of like that there, see, they're just pushing off to one side, but then they're being left in a long line, and then I can go and gather up that long line on the next pass, and it does pick them all up tidy. So we've gone back to these over here. They're all running over that way. Let's keep going with this. This seems to be working a bit. I'm going to bring them into the middle. There, like that. It is slow still. It's definitely still slow, but it's faster than it was. It's a lot faster than it was. I'll bring that into the middle there. I'm not going to go any further. I just want to go and gather up the rest of these a second. And then we can turn the corner with them. See how... Ooh. Okay, we don't want to jam them up against the side there. We'll bring them in that way, like that. There we go. And we got another one over there. Another thing that I was thinking is that we don't teleport. There's going to be no and well, for the most part, no teleporting. I would say that teleporting would be acceptable when we're using hired help, and I will be using hired help. I am going to use hired help on the fields, where hired help is feasible and it sort of makes sense to use hired help. I will use it because hired help does help a lot. It's very, very useful. So I do plan to be using hired help for doing some of the jobs, and you know, especially when we can have like 2 tractors working in the field at the same time. I don't think that is sort of going to spoil anything. And then obviously if we want to go and check on the hired help, I think it's fine to teleport between our vehicle and the next one. But what I mean not using the teleport for is things like when we are buying something from the shop. If we buy something from the shop, we've got to get to the shop, And then we've got to get the new vehicle and however we get to the shop back again. So that might just mean a long walk. We might just have to take a long walk in order to get over to the shop and then back again with the new vehicle. It's an idea I was just considering as another one of the little rules that we could add in. I don't know if it would work or not. It might be better if we just don't have that as any kind of rule or limitation, and just say if we want to teleport, then by all means we can teleport. Because, you know, we are still getting around the map. And it's a super hardcore series, but it's still supposed to be fun and enjoyable. We're still supposed to be doing things that we want to do, and we're still supposed to be enjoying... I'm supposed to enjoy playing it, and you're supposed to enjoy watching it. So, I mean, I did say yesterday, give me views and opinions down below as to what you'd like to see coming up in the series. And I'm sure most of you will appreciate that I have to record the entire week's worth of episodes before I see the first one, so I can't act on anything until next week. But that's not like a major hardship for us. Right now, of course, how are we going to be able to get this up there? We'll see how we're doing. We've gone to the halfway point on today's episode. So, money-wise, I do think that the leasing of the Mahindra as a one-off is going to have to be our option. I think that would be a better option. I'm trying a different method of moving some timber along today, but quite frankly, if I've got to keep doing this or just keep running the bits of timber up to the mill, it's going to get extremely boring. If we're loading, like, it's literally just the same thing 40 times over. If we've bought like a small Mahindra, or if we had a pony and cart or something like that, and we were loading them up and then moving it like that, I think that would be a bit more acceptable, because everything's moving along just a little bit faster, right? It's not masses, it's not hugely faster, but it is moving along a tiny little bit faster. And I think that makes a difference. I do. I think that would make a difference to viewing, a difference to how we're doing it. Right, the other thing I'm curious about is how much... Right, I'm gonna put this one over here, but we had a piece that was well outside of that marked box last time. So I want to see how far back the pieces of timber have to be in order to be sold. So I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there, and then we've got 3 in the box, and we'll see now. Right, so that was 266, but these out here, these didn't get sold. So there's nothing there. We'll have a quick wander around the sawmill here, because they may have left a piece of timber just lying around. I know that we have seen bits of timber lying around on other parts of the map, so maybe there is a few pieces here and there. Maybe there's something in here that we can use and we can sell it back to them without them realizing. It does not appear to be. Right, never mind that idea then. Let's go back here. We had 288 for those 3 small pieces. I've got a lot more small pieces down here. We can start, so we can sweep all of these up through there. There we go. Right. Now, keep shoving them up through. Look at this. The ultimate broom. I've got all of them up through. I've got a couple more pieces down here. I'll throw those up over. They're starting to look a little better. Starting to look like we've actually done something now. We've got all of these pieces up here. We now need to get them all together in a heap and be able to sell them. So I want to just shove all of these along. I'll pick that one. I'll try and pick that one up. There we go. That's better. Sweep that along. There. Gather up another one. And there. And... right. That is in the box. We've got a full sweep full there. Go back over here and get another full sweep through. Right up there. That's going to end up slipping, isn't it? Oh, we're not doing bad. We're not doing bad. Oh, there's one behind me that I still need to get. I'll start chucking these in by hand now. There. There's that lot. And there's one over there. I'll run over and get that in just a sec. Right. I brought all of these pieces up. This is the big moment. How much have we got from all of this? Because it's taken us a long time to get this up here. We get 1,000. It would have been so much faster just to chop the trees down the way we were doing it yesterday and bring them up like that. So we got 7,700 at the moment. And that was a complete and total waste of time, just about. Oh, that was brilliant. Right, we've got 2 in here. I can't pick these up, and I can't cut them either. Not allowed to cut them in half. So we're not getting them unless we got a crane of some kind to pick them up. Same with those out there. I can't, well, I might be able to shove one of them along. It's not worth it, though. Right. How much is it going to cost us to get this Mahindra for a one-off lease? That's what we're going to do. I think that is the best way to move forward is that one right there. To lease it is $877. So we will lease that one as a one-off. And then we will use it for carrying some timber back and forth until we have achieved our target. Before I do that, I said I was going to get to 10,000. So that's what we got to work on today, is we got to get to the 10,000 mark. We're getting pretty close to it. Right, we are getting pretty close to it. Bring that all the way up there and clean those. And then, say along there. Chop that one through. There we go. And then clean this up down through here. All the way down through there. Right, so we've cleaned that, and just do that one as well. There we go. Am I going to be able to carry that one? That one's a little bit too heavy. I can carry this one. This one's not going to give us very much weight, so we'll start building a pile over there. Not very much money, I mean. And I will chop the end off of that one. That'll go into our Mahindra after we've leased it. I cannot believe that I'm already breaking my golden rule of not leasing. But like I said, I do feel that I'm justified in this particular rule break, because otherwise we're just going to have to do this until I've earned another $10,000 running these branches through. You've seen me do this. You've seen me do this many, many times. And it's not I mean, I suppose it's kind of like I was doing this in the last one, where I was chopping down hundreds and hundreds of trees with a chainsaw, but I still feel that was different, because I felt like we were making more progress. This doesn't really feel like we're making lots of progress with it in order to be able to do it. But I suppose it does give the feel of, you know, we're 325. I swear we're getting less money for our wood at the moment. I swear the price has gone down. Because we were getting like 400 a time last time, and I've had to cut off, like, I did cut off a little bit on that one, but we were still getting a good 400 a ton. And now we're not. We're getting much less than 400 a ton, and I'm feeling a bit hard done by. I don't like this. Right, well, on with the next one. So we're going to stick with what we were doing, and it's taking out the shorter trees. So I'm going to go with that one there. I have been working on the pine trees, the other types of pine trees rather than these. I don't know what the difference is between two. I think this actually is a pine and the other is a conifer. I think this is pine and I think that is a spruce over there, actually. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's how it is. Tell me if I've got that completely wrong or not. I'm sure somebody knows the difference between a pine and a spruce. I ought to know the difference, really, I suppose, but that doesn't necessarily mean I do. And then we want to come down this end and do a couple little slices like that. There. Right, now I want to take as much of this one as I possibly can in one go. So I'm going to cut it right there. And I'll see if how much I can carry. I can't move that one at all. Can I move the other end? I can't pick that one up either. So we're going to have to cut that one. We'll cut a piece off. Like that. And then... Right, I can carry this one. I don't think these are worth as much because they've got that little bit of a kink on them. They're not straight. And that does immediately devalue them. As soon as they've got that little bit of a kink on them, they're immediately devalued. So we don't really want to waste our time doing too many of these. We do want to try and focus on some of the others. Yeah. Well, we'll see. So, I said last time about the rules. I will write the rules down after I've seen your suggestions as well, and I've sort of listened to your feedback. So at the beginning of next week, we will write the rules down. But obviously, the number one is the no leasing that I'm already considering breaking. Number two is absolutely no loan whatsoever. We're not allowed to have any more loan. We're not allowed to borrow any more money for any reason. I mean, we can't borrow more money at the moment anyway, because we're maxed out with our $500,000. But once we do start expanding the farm a bit more, then the opportunity for leasing will, for increasing our loan, will actually come up. But we're not going to do it. We're not going to take it up. I was just wondering if there's actually some more bits of timber lying around somewhere. There might be. We ought to look into that. Right, well, we don't own any of this. We've got that piece there, but yeah, I don't really want to do anything with that. So I want to go for... Actually, what I want to do is I want to go for the tops of these. These are the ones that are going to get us the most money at the moment. These are definitely the ones that are going to get us the most money. Is the tops of these, just taking off as much as we can and carrying. So I'll bring that down there like that. And we'll do it like this. We'll go and we'll have a look in the other area in a minute, and we'll see if there's anything in there that we can take. But no, I want to chop that one down there as low as I can. I can pick that one up, and I can pick that one up. So I'll just bring this one over here and chuck it roughly where the rest of it all is. And then we'll take this one down here. I think we really... Well, I don't know. We might actually have that one as long as it could possibly get. I don't think we'd be able to carry very much more than that. So we've got no leasing, we've got no extra loan, there's no contracts available on the map anyway, so that doesn't really matter. What else was it? Minimum of ×5 speed, unless we're planting, I think is what I've said. If we're planting, we can slow down to 1 speed so that we don't have lots of land that's all kind of mixed up. But other than that, I would say we keep it on ×5. So, harvesting, if it takes us like a whole day to harvest and we've still got stuff left, we don't have... Withering is off. I am keeping withering off. So, ×5 other than planting. And, or, you know, we can go faster. We can speed time up to go faster than that. We just can't go slower than ×5 unless we're planting, so that we don't have strips of different level land. That's the only reason that I want to do it like that. Now, over this side, yeah, I got nothing that I can take, move, no. Nothing at all. I can't climb. Can I climb over the wall? Apparently not. I could get onto there. Parkour? No. Right. We're not doing any parkour here today. We've got nothing in here that we can use. I did originally think that this might have been used as like a sell point for milk or something. But no, there is no additional sell points on this map. There is only the one that we've got. I will be buying an additional sell point, and that's the other one that I wanted to know. Do you think that I should only be able to put the sell point here in the sawmill? Either here in the sawmill or over with the shop or somewhere like that. In order to be able to buy a sell point to put down onto those, we'd have to buy this land first. And the shop and the sawmill and that, in order to own this land, that would cost us nearly $1 million. I think that might be limiting us a bit too much. I think instead a universal sell point should go elsewhere. But I spoke more in quite a lot of detail on that one in the last episode, so I'm not too worried about it today. You go back and you can give me your opinions in the last episode, or you can just repeat it today if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Let's chop this one through. We're up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. So we are getting further and further along. Right, that one's not going to fall over, but I got another one right here that I can knock over as well. So if I bring that one down there, Hopefully this one will actually fall. Oh, apparently that one's not going to fall either. None of them want to fall down at the moment. So I will go like that, and I will chop a piece off of that one. Then that will fall over, and I can use that to knock over the next one. Like that. See? It does eventually. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Which is, I've always, I like cats. I'm a cat person. And, I've always found that expression ever so slightly disturbing, because it does make you wonder exactly how many cats have people skinned over the years in order for more than one way to skin a cat to become an accepted saying and part of the English language. It does make one wonder. So I'm curious about the fate of all of these poor kitty cats and what they've done to deserve being skinned so frequently that they are now part and parcel of the English language in such a brutal fashion. Just doesn't seem right. Okay, I got that one there, another little log, and then we've got a longer piece that we can take. So I'll chuck that over there, ready to take out, and hopefully I can pick this one up now. Yep. Right, that is the maximum that I can carry. And this is how we find out if... I am pretty sure that it's changed. Although, at the start of the last round, at the start of the last episode, I changed the economy difficulty from normal to difficult. Because it started on... The actual economy was on normal, wasn't it? I started on hard mode, but the economy said normal. And I'm not sure if the game has actually got to be restarted in order for the economy to update and reflect that change. So it might be that we were on normal economy for the duration of yesterday's episode, and now we are not. Let's see. That is 324. We are consistently getting around $300 for each of these at the moment, whereas yesterday we were consistently getting in the region of $450, just under. So I think that maybe we were actually on normal economy yesterday, and today we are now getting less money for our timber, which doesn't make life any easier for us at all, does it? That's holding us back even more. So I do think that we're going to make it will be the right choice, getting the Mahindra, a one-off lease for the Mahindra. We're not going to be using it again. We're not going to be doing that, but a one-off lease, just once. One single time. Release that bad boy, and we bring it over here. We can then start loading up some of these bits of wood on the back of it, and then we can strap that load down, and we can drive it in, and we can do that until we have the 17,200. I can't pick that one up. So we'll bring that one over there. Cut you off. Right, that bit, I'm just going to bring that out and put it on the road so it is easy to see. And then I reckon, yeah, that one I can now pick up. I'll run this one up through. So we're nearly run out of time for today's episode. I can't think of any additional rules that I think we should put in. Obviously, I'm going to be waiting until next week because I want to get your feedback on the universal placement of a sell point and how you think we should go about doing that. One other thing that I did think that we could maybe do is, if you look here on the land, now obviously if we were to buy the sawmill one, that's like 968,000 in order to be able to buy that, and then put the placeable down. I could just alter the price of the placeable to say $250,000 in order to be able to get a universal placement, which is basically paying to open up a trade route, essentially. That kind of thing. The other option that we've got is that I have to go and buy, say, one of these pieces of land. I don't know which one. That one's 237. That one's 195 up there. So I'd have to say go and buy a piece of land somewhere. Maybe one that's less accessible. That one's pretty inaccessible up the top there. We could go and buy that one. $200,000 to buy that one. And we've got to clear a space for it. And then we can put down the placeable sell point. So we've got $500,000 down the bottom. That one on the side is 350,000. There's a long, narrow one there, which is cheap at 162. There's our starting kind of area there at 190. That one there around the shop and the fuel station, but not actually part of the shop and fuel station. That's at 445. And then we've got this one over here at 353. So we've got two of them here, about 350,000. I was wondering about getting this one up here in this top corner. And then you got that one there, which is all the other little bits everywhere, for $968,000. So that one's quite expensive. But I was wondering about saying that it had to be this one. So we've got a hefty target that we've got to reach. And then we put that sell point up there, which is quite a long way that we've then got to travel. I don't know if there's a bridge across there. If there isn't, then everything would have to go across this bridge here, go up and then down here, all the way round, because there's no road that goes through here easily, so we have to go all the way round and then up there. So we've got a long trip for our sell point. That could be a way of doing it. I'm genuinely not sure. So I'm really quite interested in your views on that. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you react to that and what you're all going to tell me to do. 207. Yeah, I think that we definitely had it on. It was still on the medium difficulty for economy last time round, because that was like the default setting. I think that's what we had it on. That's why we were getting like $400 per piece of wood, and that's why also it was ultimately rather disappointing this time round. So we'll go and get one more piece of timber, and we'll run that into the sawmill, and then we will call that quits for today. We've done enough running backwards and forwards with pieces of timber. We will do that one-off lease with the Mahindra in tomorrow's episode, just so that we can get the last little bit, especially as the economic difficulty has changed, which is making it even more difficult to do this. At 300 instead of 400, that is definitely more of a difficult task. And I wasn't actually expecting to have to do it like that at all. I thought, 400, that at least would be better. So I'm wondering how much we would have gotten for all of those bits of wood if we'd had it on the standard difficulty instead of the one that we've now got it on. We could be at 12,000 at the moment instead of just 9,000. Well, we've still got to get 17 in total. Oop. Right, I don't want to go climbing up trees. I'm going to leave the other piece there where it is. Bring that one down. Let's go and take this one up through. This will be the final piece that we run up through today. And then we can hit our target of 10,000 at the beginning of next episode. And then we'll go and get that Mahindra. So we've got to get to the shop. We lease the Mahindra. And a one-off lease for $800 it's going to cost us. And then we can bring it back and we can do our stuff with it. And we'll keep that one until we have achieved 17,200. And then we've got to take it straight back to the shop, return the lease, and then buy the Mahindra straight back. So it's actually going to end up costing us more. It's just that we're going to speed up this little bit of the process right here. 307, definitely. This is definitely right. We've got less money coming in now from the timber. So it has changed that. Yeah, so like I said yesterday, any suggestions for rules that you would like to see? I've already said that I will be using hired help here. Well, I'm not going to be using hired help for everything, but I will be using hired help. I'm not going to be doing everything myself. And I will be using auto-load trailers on and off in the series as well, because it just, yeah, that bit, I do insist on being allowed to use auto-load trailers. Other than that, it really is going to be down to you, the viewers, and how you want me to do it. So come up with your rule suggestions in the comments below. And also, like I said in yesterday's episode, do you have any particular targets that you want? Do you have anything, any goals that we should be working towards in order to make this series work? Should we have to have a certain number of animals, that sort of thing? But I asked you all this in yesterday's episode anyway, so yeah, I'm just repeating myself now. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.